So first, I will be introducing the presiding officer, which is Caleb. So take it away.
Thank you, Michelle. Hello, everyone. My name is Caleb Van Brunt, and I hope you are ready for another exciting meeting tonight at the Future Leaders Gavel Club. It is an honor to be your club president, and I would like to officially call this meeting to order. The Future Leaders Gavel Club is a Toastmasters club open to middle school and high school students in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. To start our meeting tonight, I would like to invite our Toastmaster of the night, Kara. Take it away.
Hello, thank you, Caleb. Now we are ready for another great meeting. So first, let's introduce all of our functionaries. Claire, will you please tell us about the all counters role? Claire, I don't know if you heard me right then, but could you please tell us about the all counters role if you're ready?
Yes, I can. Okay, as the odd counter, I will note words and sounds used as crutch or pause filler by anyone who speaks during the meeting. Words may be inappropriate interjections such as and, well, but, so, you know. Sounds may be or
Thank you, Claire. Now, Caleb, can you please tell us about the grammarian's role?
Of course. As the grammarian, I will monitor the grammar usage throughout the meeting, and I will note uses of good phrasing, uses of awkward grammar, and uses of the word of the day, which today is consort. Consort means to associate or partner with others, typically for a shared purpose. For example, in her speech, she described how crucial it was to consort with like-minded individuals to achieve her goals, emphasizing the power of partnership and collaboration. I hope everyone uses the word of the day, and I will give a report at the end of the meeting. Back to you, Kara.
Thank you very much, Caleb. And now, Alex, will you please tell us about the timer's role? Or instead, if he's not here, we can skip. And then can we have Ethan tell us about the general evaluator's role?
Sure. As the general evaluator, also known as the second order evaluator, because that is exactly what I do, I am in charge of all the other evaluators and all the functionaries. That is why I call myself the second order evaluator. At the at the conclusion of the meeting, I will also give a general evaluation of the meeting as a whole.
Okay, thank you, second order evaluator. Now, Alex, can you just confirm that you are able to hear and participate in the meeting right now? Okay, thank you. Do you think you'll be able to? Okay, got it. Thank you, Alex. Okay, then I think we can probably skip the timers report for now, and we can go on to the first speaker. So today, our first speaker is going to be Michelle. So Michelle, if you're ready, please begin your speech.
Thank you, Kara. Now, environmental issues are getting out of hand. Now, why? I mean, it's kind of obvious, right? It's because of us. Well, mostly us. Us humans are the cause of most of the environmental issues. Now, some examples are climate change, air pollution, deforestation, pollution, wildfires, food waste, and waste management. And no, not the pooping type. I'm talking about food scraps and such in waste management. Now, similar to what Claire says in her evaluations, I'll be breaking down this speech down in 3 parts. What environmental issues are, what some do to our Earth, and how we can try to decrease it. Now, first, what is an environmental issue? well, there are problems that harm our Earth and its system and can be made by us humans or natural factors, but we'll be talking about the human factors. These issues often intersect and can have significant social, economy, and health impacts, making them critical areas of concern for individuals, communities, and possibly governments. We w- well, we we'll take the major issue since I can't talk about all of them. According to myself, the major issues are which climate change, deforestation, wildfire, and pollution. These oh, shoot. Oh god, I messed up. Sorry. I read the wrong paragraph. Which are climate change. Oh, let's just skip that part. These types of environmental issues are now all major parts of other issues that are often built off of each other, like pollution. Pollution could be different types of pollution, chemical pollution. Oh my god. Now let me explain what these three issues are that I totally told you guys. Deforest deforestation is when us humans or natural made fires or us cutting down trees burns down trees and environments that animals and possibly us live in. A wildfire is basically the same thing I just said. And finally, pollution. That's one giant issue in this world. Pollution, according to Google, is when amount of any substance or any form of energy is put into the environment at a rate faster than it can be dispersed or safely stored. Now, lastly, here's some things you can do to avoid causing environmental issues. There's a lot of examples actually, but here are some that I decided to write down. At home, you can turn off lights when not needed, take shorter showers, compost food scraps. For transportation, you can walk, use a bike, or use public transportation, carpool, or use an electric vehicle like Tesla or something. And for communities, you can volunteer, or should I say, consort with others who wish to clean up the earth. Support environmental organizations and cleanups, and educate others about the environment. So, in this last part of the speech, which is a call for action, please help try to stop the earth from turning on us. Thank you, and back to you, Toastmaster Kara.
Thank you, Michelle. And I really do hope that we as humanity can all consort together in order to make a better earth for ourselves. Now, our next speaker is going to be, oh, actually, Michelle was the only speaker. So we are running a little bit early, but William, do you think you'll have enough tape? Okay. It looks like William is not here, actually. So we're going to have to do something else before we move on to table topics. So would anyone just like to speak about anything or share how their week has been? You can just unmute if you want to share. Okay. Well, for me, my week has been pretty good. I had a robotics competition and it was an off-season competition. So we brought our robot from the previous season and we competed against a lot of other teams in the area. And the robots are like pretty big, like 125-pound robots. And then we got into playoffs, but then we were eliminated in like we were the first team to be eliminated in playoffs. But it was still pretty good and it was a lot of fun. So, hi, William. Welcome back. Do you think you would be able to lead the table topic section of the meeting now?
Yeah, so sorry. My computer completely crashed and
Of
it's
course.
been crashing today, so apologies for the delay. I was supposed to have a good setup. Let me see if give me a second
Okay, take your
to
time.
apologies everyone.
So, Kara, I'm just curious, how does the robotics competition work, and like what are the criteria for robots and stuff like that?
Right. So every year, a different game is released, and there are tasks where basically robots compete directly against each other. And it's always a group of 3 robots versus a group of 3 other robots. So your robotics team makes one robot, and then you are randomly paired up with 2 other teams to compete in every game, in every match. And then the games can include things like shooting like rings, that was this year's game, or also things like picking up cones and cubes and placing them in different spots. So it's things like that. Okay.
All right. So my camera is working now. I'm actually on my laptop, so I don't know if the audio quality is still okay. Can everyone hear me? Okay. Perfect. We'll go on to table topics then. NBC News reports Election Night 2024. For those of you who have been aware, election night was just last night, and early this morning, election results were called. But I want to take everyone back to a time before election night, before the 2024 election cycle has been called. And I want to ask you some questions about your personal opinions. I will go down the list and call our presidential candidates in tonight's meeting, and I will ask them some questions about their thoughts about this election cycle. Starting with Alex. Alex, you are running for president in 2024. What issue do you think stands out most to all of your voters?
Hmm. Okay, my microphone works. That's good. I am the presidential candidate for 2024, and the biggest issue that I think needs to be solved is the issue with gas prices. Gas is way too expensive nowadays. Though it is getting better, I feel the issue of gas has definitely reminisced through people that I am close to, and people have definitely expressed their concerns about these issues. Because of this, and because of the many people I know that are affected by this, my first thing will somehow be able to maybe find an oil reservoir that we never knew of to hopefully bring down the gas prices and help everyone out, as the days of $1 gas is no longer, and now the biggest concern is finding the cheapest Costco gas station. And I don't think that's right. So instead, we should either start drilling at new places, or we should start making new deals with other countries to be able to get cheaper gas for everyone.
Thank you for that response, candidate Alex. I think that gas prices have been skyrocketing in the past few years, and I think there ought to be something done about that. Moving on to Ethan. Candidate Ethan, I would like to ask you, in your search for a vice president, what kind of person do you most want to consort with?
I had a okay, I'm gonna be real honest. I had a feeling I would be the second person. I don't know how, but that happened. I guess it's called I have a third eye, I suppose. And I suppose that because I have a third eye, that endows me with certain abilities that allow me to see who is a good fit for running mate or not. See, here's the problem with choosing the running mate. You need to choose somebody who knows what they're doing. But the problem with the vice president is that the vice president, I'm aware, has very limited constitutional powers. So they cannot be too ambitious. Otherwise, they will seem very overbearing and like they're trying to do too much of everything by themselves, which may not help their chances of getting into office that much. So to answer your question, the type of person I would choose for vice president would be somebody who knows what they're doing, knows how to properly conduct politics, and also knows what sorts of issues people care about, even though they may not have many constitutional powers in their own right, certainly much less than the president, they still do have some power to do certain things, like cast the tie-breaking vote in the Senate. So they must not be afraid to use their constitutional power as they see fit, but also not be the kind of person to try to use it too much or use it in a manner that is unconstitutional, because, of course, that is very bad. Back to you, Toastmaster William.
Thank you, candidate Ethan. I think that puts you right in front of all of your competitors for this prestigious office. Moving on to our next candidate, and wow, this candidate is a little different. Janya, you are candidate for Prime Minister of Canada. What do you think? What do you think? What quality do you think voters most want to see in Prime Minister?
I am the candidate for Prime Minister in Canada, which is really great. But I think voters would want to see the reduce in tax prices as the tax has been too high nowadays. And there's a lot of struggling going on because of the tax. And also the rental prices have been increasing because for now it has been 2000, about 2000 for any house that you want to rent for. 2000 Canadian dollars. So I think um uh the I don't get the yeah, that's it. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Janya. Moving on to our next candidate, who is featured on NBC News tonight, Claire. Claire, on your first day as president, what would you accomplish for the American people?
Thank you, William. On my first day as President of the United States, my main focus, my one goal would be to build a strong trust and cooperation with the American people. Because, of course, as president of the American people, I must gain their trust in order to enact meaningful change and improvement in the American society. So I'd like to first prioritize working with the entire United States of America. Yes, I will talk to every single American who lives in the US. And that is not a questionable statement because it will be done with my power as the new president of the United States. So my steps will help to streamline a more effective process in helping the American people and, of course, our wonderful society in advancing the education, healthcare, and overall quality of our lives. Thank you, and back to you, William.
Thank you so much, Claire. Our next presidential candidate of tonight is Angelina. Angelina, by the end of your 4 years in office, what do you see as your greatest accomplishment?
Thank you, William. Now that I have been president of the United States for 4 years, I have met many new people and had many new experiences. The main accomplishment that I'm the most proud of, and I would say is the most beneficial to the American people, would be the fact that I have helped relieve the situation of poverty. Poverty has been a rampant issue ever since the United States of America was created. Poverty is also still an issue today, but after my 4 years as president, I have tried my best to focus on helping those in need and also contributing to those that need it the most. Poverty is an issue that I have always been aware of and have always considered to be one of the most important issues that needed to be solved in America. Over millions of people suffer from poverty, and that is something that I wanted to change at the beginning of my presidency. After 4 years, I have worked towards that goal, and I'm proud to say that I have given everything and tried my best to improve the situation. And I'm proud today to say that I believe that I have helped improve the situation greatly. And I'm very glad to see that many people and that millions of people were able to come out of poverty because of my contributions. Thank you, and back to you, William.
Thank you so much, Angelina. Moving on to Rachel. Rachel, your question is, how and in what ways are you qualified to be the next president of the United States?
Many people might not know me because I haven't been campaigning for too long, but I am truly much more qualified than anyone who's currently in the race. The first reason is because I'm very diplomatic. When people see me, they want to bow down because they just love me so much and they trust me with their lives. And my second reason is that I am a very nice person. Honestly, a president needs to be very approachable, and what's more approachable than me, honestly? If someone has a problem, no matter how controversial it is, they can come to me and talk about it, and I will not get mad, no matter how controversial it is. And the third reason why I believe I am, in fact, the best presidential candidate is because I listen to other people's points of view. Really, I don't just listen to my own points of view. I would never do that. And I think I could make the right decisions for this country, definitely by working well with with others in the White House and definitely not making decisions on my own because why would I do that? That's not even legal. I'm I'm sure that maybe you don't trust me, but please relieve all your worries about me because if I'm the president, you won't need to worry about anything anymore. I'm so reliable. I'll take care of everything. No one will have to be angry with me, and no one will have to worry about anything again. I swear.
Thank you so much, Rachel. So I'm not. Please correct me if I get your name wrong in any way, but Amilthan. Um, it's okay if if for today we don't call on you for table topics, but it's just a good way of engaging in our weekly meetings. So I'll just move on to the next person, and after table topics, we'll have you also introduce yourself to us. But moving on for now to our next speaker, who will be, let me see, Kara. Kara, what role do you think the youth will play in this election cycle?
Thank you, William. I believe that now more than ever, as the internet has made it more easy for ideas to reach people of all ages, the youth will become more and more involved in, in the presidential elections. Now, every day, I see people around my school talking about who they think should be president and making clear some of their political opinions. I believe that the youth of today are very opinionated, and I believe that given the space to vote, they will do so. That is why I believe that the youth will be a huge part of this year's presidential election, because the youth will have their strongest beliefs, and the youth tends to be idealistic and will want to vote for what they believe in. So for this election cycle, I believe it is important to make sure that everybody is able to have their opinions heard. And for that, I think that it is very important to have the youth vote. Thank you, and back to you, William.
Thank you, Kara. Now, I came across a number of yard signs and campaign slogans out in my neighborhood, and because of the diversity of my neighborhood, there's signs and slogans for many different candidates, whether it be at the presidential, the congressional, or the state, or even local levels. But Caleb, none of those slogans really make sense to me. Caleb, as a candidate yourself, what is your slogan and why did you choose it?
Running for office has been a pleasure. And I would like to now officially unveil my slogan for the 2024 presidential election. Americans, you are the key in this slogan, and we did an experiment, an online poll to help include everyone from all different backgrounds and ages into this website, where we had several slogans to choose from. Guess what? None of you chose a slogan we chose. And the slogan that we chose is simple. It's Caleb 2024. It doesn't have to be anything like, well, I'm not going to say any of the slogans that are currently out there because that may cause problems. But we can keep it simple. And by keeping it simple, by saying just Caleb 2024, we don't have to make promises that we don't live up to. We don't have to say things that we're going to regret because the eyes of the people are on us to make the choices that will impact their lives. But if in the candidacy, if as they vote, we make claims and promises in our slogan that we don't live up to, the American people will not like us. The American people will say that we did not live up to their expectations and that we did not deserve their vote. That is why by using the slogan Caleb 2024, we're going to capture the vote. And here's how we're going to do it. When people think of something, it is proven that sometimes they have negative and positive connotations. For example, I believe there was once a study done where they put a bunch of college students in a classroom and had them take a very difficult math test. Now, during this math test, the researchers, for a split microsecond, flashed up the name of someone in their life who had been positive, who had been an influence and support. Maybe it was a parent, someone who was always on their side. Then for a separate group of children, actually of college students, they flashed the name of someone who had been negative. And it was flashed so quickly that you really couldn't know, you really couldn't tell, but your subconscious mind was able to tell. And what they found was that those students who saw the positive support name, those students did better on the test. And where am I going with this? What I'm going with is that by using the slogan Caleb 2024, we are going to create a positive connotation with the name Caleb. So that whenever anyone hears the name Caleb 2024, they're going to think something happy, something positive. Whereas anyone else's slogan may bring doubt, distrust, and just a negative attitude. And that, world's America, is my slogan. Caleb 2024. Back to you, William.
Thank you, Caleb. Let me see now. We have a few more speakers to go. And starting off with candidate Michelle. So, candidate Michelle, recently you've actually been very popular amongst a lot of celebrities and multimillionaires, and they're donating a lot of money to your campaign. In your opinion, what role do you think these celebrities and these figures should play in your campaign?
I finally did it. Somehow, I have gained the celebrity's attention.
டேரக்டாக காலையில் நடக்கும் எல்லாம் குழந்தைங்க ஸ்கூல் படிக்கிற பசங்க.
This is incredible. Finally, they're donating and helping me with my campaigns, but now I have to make a campaign myself. What do I do? These celebrities have been helping me a lot, so I should include them too. Maybe something like Caleb's slogan, like support Michelle, and then the celebrities approved signs over there next to these slogans. Maybe that. But honestly, these celebrities, they're kind of like my wallet. I just want to drop my opinion right there. They're my wallet. I don't care about them. I don't care if you went into Spider-Man show. I don't care if you're a popular actor. You are my wallet. That's all. Yeah.
Wow. Congratulations, candidate Michelle, though. I'm not sure how the public will respond to your stance right there. But great job anyways. I noticed that one of our final candidates for tonight on stage currently has a watching next to her name. Eliana, would you be comfortable with answering a question tonight?
Sorry, I'm actually in the middle of something.
Oh,
Sorry.
sorry. Then I will ask one more candidate. Hillary, would you be willing to answer a question tonight?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so candidate Hillary, how especially in this election cycle, there's a lot of bickering between what people think is right and people think is wrong. But in your opinion, as someone who is running for elected office, what do you think are some best ways to get people to respectfully disagree?
In my opinion, some ways of getting two groups to respectfully disagree is to find a common ground between the two issues that they're disagreeing upon. Or perhaps they could also agree to disagree, that everybody has their own opinions and they might not always see eye to eye.
Thank you so much, Hillary, for the response. And I think that the voters are turning out at the polls in great number for candidate Hillary. And finally, by candidate Caleb's request, I will ask myself, William Chang for President 2024, a question too. Well, let's just pretend that the interviewers were asking me. But candidate William, how important is it to research local candidates compared to national ones? Thank you, broadcaster William. You betcha, candidate William. Well, I think that it's really important to consider all levels of the political spectrum. So, starting from the national election, this year, as you know it, you'll be sure to elect me as your next president in 2024. But I think that Americans and all people of the free world have a civic duty to make their voices heard. And what I mean by that is that I don't want to see the dip in voter turnout in midterm elections. When you consider the fact that everyone has their eyes on the presidential candidates and the presidential race, it's kind of interesting to see how that voter turnout suddenly drops between the election years. So, for example, 2020 was a record-breaking election year. 2024 is an record-breaking election year, but relatively few people turned out for 2022. And I predict relatively few people will be turning out for 2026. And that's where your local representatives are elected. So, your House representatives, some of your senators. So, in order to truly get the best interest of the politicians who are representing you, I myself, as a politician, encourage all people to go out there and vote as long as you are able, because that's part of our civic duty. If we don't turn out at the polls, even for the local elections, and do our good research on those candidates, we might be voting for positions that contradict our own. And when it comes time to policy making in Washington, D.C., if our interests aren't represented, we're not going to be happy with what's happening in DC. So it's very important to keep faith in the American democratic system and go out there, vote, and do your research on all candidates, whether they be national, state, or local. All right. And NBC will be back shortly with the projections, starting with the poll closings in Kentucky and its 8 electoral votes. All right, thank you to all candidates, and I will be turning the stage over to our general evaluator, who is Ethan.
Whoops. There we go. I found the mute button. Yeah. Or unmute button. Thank you, Table Topics Master William. Now, it appears that our speech one evaluator for tonight is Angelina. Angelina, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Ethan. So, Michelle, I think your speech topic was great. It's a very universal topic and everyone can definitely relate to it, and we all know what it is. So I think it was good that you gave an outline of what you were going to talk about in the intro. And I would say that you also had a very strong introduction, which is good because you want to hook the listeners in. You also had really good vocal variety and you were really loud and clear when you were speaking, which is good as well. So some places that you can improve are, I noticed that you seem to be stuttering a lot and you repeated and paused at a lot of places. So maybe try speaking slower and that might help with the stuttering and being repetitive and the pausing. I would also say that I noticed some parts of your speech were really formal, like when you were giving statistics or research, that was really formal. And you also had some really casual parts. I think that's not a bad thing, but I would say maybe focus on one and only include a little bit of the other because it seems really weird to suddenly transition from a formal speech to a casual speech. I also noticed that you said I read the wrong part. So I think that's fine, but I would say instead of saying that, just try and make something up that's related to your topic so it doesn't seem like you don't know what you're talking about. And instead of saying that, because that makes it seem like you didn't prepare a lot, I would just say improvise something to the best of your abilities. And that's also why practicing is really important too. So I would just say practice more. Overall, you had a really good speech, and it was great that you had a good introduction. And the topic was also very unique and universal as well. So good job in your speech. And I would just say the main thing that you need to work on is practicing more and speaking slower. Thank you, and back to you, Ethan.
Thank you for that evaluation, Angelita. So it looks like we only had one speech today. So I'm not sure why Rachel has listed a speech to evaluator. I will consider that an anomaly and disregard it in favor of Claire, who is the odd counter for tonight.
Thank you, Ethan. So starting off with speaker one, who was Michelle, I noticed here and there was some stuttering and a few repeats, but overall the speech flowed pretty nicely. And then for the table topic, starting with Alex, overall I did not notice much. The speech was very smooth. And then Ethan, I noticed a few repeats or stutters here and there, but overall, again, it flowed really smoothly. And then Janya, your speech was great as well. Moving on to Angelina, the speech and message flowed very nicely, and I liked how you had pauses instead of using filler words. And then for Rachel, just a couple of ums here and there. As for Caleb, I did not notice anything. Michelle, there were a few repeats, but there wasn't anything much. And then Hillary, your speech was great as well. So overall, I would just say that consorting with silence would have allowed your words to carry more weight. So maybe focus on that in the future instead of using filler words. But overall, everyone today did a great job. Thank you, and back to you, Ethan.
Thank you, counter Claire. Now the grammarian, who is Caleb.
Thank you, Ethan. Hello, everyone. I'd like to give my grammarian report. First off, we had Michelle with her speech. You had just a few awkward instances of awkward grammar. The first one is or us cutting down trees, perhaps or by humans cutting down trees, and then also walk, use a bike. I think you just said walk, use bike. So just remember to slow down, as Angelina mentioned. I think that will help a lot. Other than that, your speech was great. Then for William, you used the word of the day once. I think you may have used it a second time, but I missed it. And then I also had a question, maybe you can answer that later, but you said prestigious office. I'm not sure if that's exactly what you meant, but prestigious is a pronunciation that I'm used to, so I'm not sure if that was the way you intended it. Maybe you can answer that at the end. And then Alex, I really liked your good phrasing of reminiscence. Ethan, I also like the word choice of overbearing. Janya, I didn't catch anything. Claire, I liked your usage of the term wonderful society. I think that was a great term encompassing America. Angelina, and Rachel, I didn't catch anything. Kara, you used the term idealistic. I also enjoyed how that portrayed the opinions of the students. And one particular use of awkward grammar, you said more easy, but I think you meant easier, so that's just a slight thing. Caleb, I didn't catch anything for myself. I probably used some awkward grammar here and there, and maybe some good phrasing. Michelle, I also didn't catch anything. Hillary, I really like your phrasing of finding common ground, agreeing to disagree. I think that was really, really well done phrasing. And William, lastly, I like your phrasing of a civic duty. Our speech evaluator one, Angelina, I didn't catch anything, but for Claire, I caught that she used the word of the day once. That is all for my grammarian report, and back to you, Ethan.
Okay. Excuse me. I will take this time to introduce a brief interruption into our regularly scheduled programming because I have noticed that there's been a request for Amilthan. Is that how it is pronounced?
Yeah, my name is Amal Then, and I am in fourth standard. My father name is Sivabalan, and my mother name is Malati. My mother is trying to write the exam for the teacher TRB, and my father is an IIT called American company called Aon. I have a sister. She is in UKG, and her name is Magilini, and my school name is Panchayat Union Elementary School. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, thank you for the introduction. I was going to ask you to introduce yourself, but it seems like you understood the request. So now back to our regularly scheduled programming. I believe the last functionary for this evening is Alex, the timer.
Okay, there we go. All right. I'd like to apologize first off though for my little mishaps with my microphone, and I also had to grab a charger because my computer was telling me it was low power, so I'm very sorry about that. And because of that, I missed Michelle's speech, and I couldn't time it, so I'm very sorry about that. And we're going to just move on to the table topics. I was the first speaker, and I did not catch myself, so I put in IDK. Ethan, second table topic speaker, 1 minute and 44 seconds, which is perfect. Table topic speaker, Janya, you had a time of 46 seconds. I think maybe if you just add one more idea to your thoughts, what am I even saying? That could get it to that 1 minute mark, which would make it perfect. Next table topic speaker for Claire, you had a time of 1 minute and 21 seconds, which was great. Table topic speaker Angelina, you had a time of 1 minute 50, which was great. Table topic speaker Rachel, you had a time of 2 minutes and 13 seconds, which is amazing. Table topic speaker Kara, you had a time of 1 minute and 27. Table topic speaker Caleb, you had a time of 2 minutes and 59 seconds, but it's really not that bad. It is overtime, however. I think your speaking was interesting, so I think it's justified for the extra time. Table topic speaker Michelle, you had a time of 1 minute and 9 seconds, which is on the mark, but it is very close. Table topic speaker Hillary, you had a time of 25 seconds, but honestly, that's okay and shouldn't be a worry. But if you maybe speak again, just the target is between 1 minute and 2 minutes. And table topic speaker William, you had a time of 2 minutes and 9 seconds, which was good. Oh yeah, what am I? Yeah, which was great. And Angelina, speech one evaluator, you had a time of 2 minutes and 12 seconds, which is a good time for an evaluation. I'm not sure about the odd counter and the grammarian, how long it should take, but I still timed them. So Claire, you had a time of 1 minute and 9 seconds, and Caleb, you had a time of 2 minutes and 7 seconds. So thank you.
Hey, thank you, Alex, and thank you for all the functionary reports, which work together to create a very comprehensive outline of this meeting. I understand that even though I understand that one of our speakers was not was not able to speak today, so we only had one speech. Womp womp. But it was still really good. The quality more than made up for the quality made more than made up for the reduced quantity. I was making sure I got those two words correct in the correct order because I've confused them before, which you think I wouldn't do because I know how the English language works, but sometimes my brain does not work properly. Overall, I would say tonight's meeting was very productive and everybody did their jobs very well. Now I will hand it back to the presiding officer, Caleb.
Thank you so much, Ethan, for your evaluation. Thank you everyone for participating in our meeting tonight. Congratulations to Michelle for your speech. And then William, as soon as I saw your name on the agenda as Table Topics Master, I knew where this Table Topics session was going because it is just too coincidental that we just had an election and you are going to be giving table topics. And I know that you were going to give a political themed table topic session, which was really fun. I think everyone enjoyed giving their candidacy speeches and interviews. And something we honestly are only going to be able to do like once every 4 years, and especially once every 4 years. So thank you, William, for bringing your table topic session to life. And other than that, congratulations to all our functionaries. Amilthan, thank you for joining us from India. It's great to have you here tonight. Well, actually, it's great to have you this morning here joining us. And whenever you want to join, please let us know. Also, you can reach out to us. Our email, you can email me at. Hold on. You can email me if you have any questions about the club, or if you can just hop on at the same time every week and join us with that same Zoom link. So thank you for joining us, and we hope you had a great time. Other than that, also Hillary, well done on your table topics response. I was very impressed with your response, and if you would like, you can totally start taking on roles and giving speeches, etc. We would love to have you participate, and I'm sure you will benefit even more by participating. So Hillary, whenever you feel comfortable doing that, you can also email me or Claire as well. With that said, some updates is that on November 20th, like we had predetermined, we are going to have a speech workshop, and I just got confirmation today that we are going to have Advisor Susanna Wong give a speechcraft workshop on the 20th. So it's going to be a great workshop, and it's going to help us prepare for the upcoming intra-club speech contest coming up on December 4th, I believe. Then also remember that we're going to have a FLGC recital that is going to be on November the 27th, the day before Thanksgiving. So if you can make it, great. If not, and you still want to participate, just send us a video of your piece. So start thinking of a short piece that you want to perform on that day, and we will all really enjoy listening to you share your musical talents with us. Other than that, does anyone have any questions, comments about tonight's meeting? If so, please open your mic and share your thoughts. All right, if not, then I believe at 6:54 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we can adjourn the meeting tonight.